Good evening, all. I am your host for this session. This is Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, Strategic Partnership Manager from IFERP. I welcome you all for this webinar on how can you earn as a digital marketer, the most entrepreneurial job in marketing, which is organized by Institute for Engineering, Research and Publication in association with United Innovators. Before starting the session, I'd like to say about our organizer IFERP. About IFERP, Institute for Engineering Research and Publication is a non-profitable professional association which is meant for research and development in the field of engineering, science and technology, and management studies. IFERP is on its way to digitize innovation process through our professional networking services and thus providing an integrated virtual scientific community, mutual engagement, exploring potential of researchers, and creating a cooperative and collaborative academic environment. As a leading organization for scientific research and assistance, IFERP promotes knowledge sharing in engineering and science, and technology and management studies through its scientific conferences and events, and also by establishing student chapters, professional development programs, career and skill development programs, faculty development programs, webinars, workshops, journals, magazines, and proceedings. IFERP has stepped into many developed and developing countries like India, Iraq, Maldives, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, Taiwan, Vietnam, and UAE. IFERP existence across the world. IFERP have more than 82,253 members in more than 100 countries. IFERP accomplishments. These are the IFERP scientific events and collaborations we have conducted so far. For international conference, we have organized 407 and virtual events like FDPs and webinars 212 and collaborations and MOU 320 and in-house journals we have 26 plus journals and we have established a 12 student chapter. And coming to the IFERP publications, we have published 48,593 so far. Among that, 26,783 in Scopus and 12,421 in Web of Science publications, 1,000 plus in SCIE publications, and the delegates conference for 36,745 and scientific presentations are on 28,673. What we do for students? For students, IFERP will help you to participate in hackathons. They are providing seed funding project for innovation and we will support you for internship and we are supporting for coding and project competition and we will support them by guest or lectures and we are organizing workshops and webinars and we are giving them placement training. What we do for faculties for IFERP, here we will give you by organizing scientific events like conferences, workshops, webinars, FDPs. Apart from that, faculty members also can participate in seed funding project and they will get a career support and soft skill development, publication assistance we are doing, FDPs. And apart from that, they can be a speaker and editorial board member and reviewer in our technology journals. And they will get session chair opportunities based on their profile also. Apart from that, they can publish book chapters and we are supporting them for patent filing assistance also. What we do for institutions, IFERP institution membership, with that we can organize scientific conferences and events by establishing student chapters and career and soft skill development for faculties and students, publications assistance, patent filing assistance, FDP, online courses, MOU with industries, grants and awards we are supporting. Coming to IFERP conference sponsor schemes, we have three categories. In that, first one is academic partner, and second one is IFERP organizing sponsor, and third one is institution organizing sponsor. And journals and publications, we have, as I said earlier, we are having Scopus, SCIE, Web of Science, SCIE, and UGC CARE and Google Scholar Index journals. We have 30 plus in-house journals. More than 48,593 research articles are published by IFERP. Coming to the IFERP membership categories, we have 3 categories in that. One is student membership, second one is professional membership, and third one is institutional membership. Coming to the IFERP chapters, we have student chapter and special interest community. For establishing student chapters in institutions, IFERP provides its members with an opportunity to form student chapters. For that, we need 50 student premium members and 3 premium professional members from your institution. Student chapter benefits, events and awards, like we will act as a link between the students for connecting with the industries and other institutions. Apart from that, we are supporting them for seed funding programs, workshops, webinars, guest lectures, hackathons, coding competition, project competition, and Olympiad for student convention in national level and international level. Apart from that, we are doing career support like placement training, online courses, internship support, career news, resume building, entrepreneurship development, industrial visits, startup street. Publication assistance also we are providing for students. We have book chapters and online courses. These are the book chapters under process, and the online courses, artificial intelligence and machine learning, to be launched in November month. And the IFERP Academy is under process, and the industrial mentorship is also under process. And this is the IFERP upcoming conference, International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research and Practices, ICMRP, which is organized by IFERP Thailand chapter, which is going to be held on 22nd and 23rd November in Phuket. And this is the conference website we have mentioned here. And coming to the next conference, this is third International Conference on Advancing Knowledge from Multidisciplinary Perspectives in Engineering and Technology, ICAK MPET 2022, which is organized by IFERP Philippines chapter, and the venue is Philippines. It is going to be held on 23rd and 24th December, and the conference website is mentioned here. And these are all our associates, partners, and collaborations. Now coming to the session, how can you earn as a digital marketer? The most entrepreneurial job in marketing. Before inviting our speaker of the session, Mr. Premanand, to take the spotlight, I'd like to give an introduction about him and his expertise. Mr. Premanand K is the Director of Extracut and Chief Technology Officer in Street FZC. He is an entrepreneur and marketing specialist in the direct response space. He grew companies by using his advanced digital marketing strategies and business process automations. He has completed bachelor's in information technology from SRM University, Chennai. He focused on digital marketing, and he had the privilege over the years to work with hundreds of small to medium-sized businesses and a handful of enterprise-level companies, including SRM Institution, Crown Plaza, Wales Institution, Ramada Plaza, and Apollo Hospitals, to name a few. Sir, it's a privilege to have you as our keynote speaker for this session. Sir, you can deliver the keynote now, sir.
Hello. Thank you so much, Dr. Geeta, for introducing me. It's a privilege to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm not able to start my video, I think.
You couldn't open, sir?
No, it says the host has stopped it.
Just give me a second, sir.
Sure.
Let me check. Sir? Sir? Your voice
Oh,
is
I'm
not.
sorry. I'm sorry. Is it? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Now it's audible, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Sorry to make you guys wait. So let's just get started. Good evening, everyone. So I think Dr. Geeta has done a wonderful job in introducing me even better than I could do it. So to put it in simple words, I run a digital marketing agency here in Chennai. So we work with lots and lots of educational institutions, including the whole of SRM, Wales, and pretty much all the top colleges here in Tamil Nadu. So that is one side of it. And I'm also a co-partner in an agency based out of UAE. So that is second thing. So I have the opportunity to work with lots and lots of small and medium businesses, and also really large enterprises in hospital, healthcare segment, the education segment, as well as the hospitality segment. So this is a little bit brief about what I do. So we can quickly jump into the topic. I don't want you guys to spend a lot of time in this particular webinar, since it's going to be a weekend, and I want you guys to enjoy it while gaining the knowledge you seek out of this particular webinar. So before starting this particular session, is it possible for the attendees to give me an idea of which background you guys are from? As in, you could just put it in the chat basically. Are you guys currently studying, or are you guys in working somewhere? If you could just put that into the chat, it would be easier for me to tune my presentation so that it is more, the contents would resonate more with you guys. I hope this chat is enabled for you guys. If not, yeah. Okay, I'm getting the answer. So a lecturer, okay. Any other? I think there are around 55 participants. So if you guys can put your current profession, if you are a student, or if you guys are working somewhere, or think if you just put it in that particular Q&A or any chat box, I'd be able to tune the presentation for you guys so it is more valuable. Okay, we'll give it 10 more seconds and we can get started. Okay, wonderful. So Ms. Geeta has replied she's an IT employee, and Mr. Siva is a software and currently doing new agency, looking for knowledge on that. Wonderful. All into digital marketing. Wonderful, Mr. Siva. Okay. Okay, so I think pursuing MTech IT. Okay, wonderful. I think I get the idea. So I think mostly the people are from both student background. Also, a few people are employed. I think 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 years of experience. That's good. So yeah, I think my presentation which I made is more suitable for you guys. So it's going to address the career in digital marketing, and it would be, I feel it will be beneficial if you guys are going from the like if you guys are doing a study somewhere and you guys want to try out something before choosing your career. This would be a good webinar which would help you with that. And even if you're working somewhere and you are fascinated about digital marketing or passionate about it and want to take this up as a career, I feel this would add as this particular webinar would give you a starting point on how to go about it, try and test the markets and stuff before you venture completely into it. I think it would help in both the way. So yeah, so let's get started. Wonderful. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys can see my screen. Yeah, so let me just start things with a small lighter note. So this is what the digital marketing, when people see the digital market, this is how different people view it from their perspective. This is how the friends, what my friends think I do, this is what my parents think I do, this is what my clients think I do, something really complicated and stuff. And me in the beach or something like that is what the society thinks I'm doing. And this is what I think I'm doing sitting in this chair right now. But I think, I don't think that last image kind of does justice, but I've been there, done that. I think I moved on that particular phase by how it is represented in the last slide. Right now, I feel I'm in a much more comfortable and really good position. And because I'm passionate, what I'm doing right now, it's I feel really passionate about it, and it's fun working in that particular angle. So just starting off with a lighter note. Yeah. So the first thing which I want to talk about it to give you an idea of whether this webinar is for you. So I think that would save a lot of time and what is the expectations out of this particular webinar. So this is more suitable if you want to start a digital business with minimal risk and investment. And if you are looking to start a freelance gig, suppose you are working somewhere or suppose you are studying somewhere, you want to start something like maybe a freelancer job, something like that. This webinar would be probably helpful for you. And third is probably if you're fascinated by the concept of digital marketing, if you feel you're passionate about it and you would like to be a part of the billion-dollar industry, because digital marketing is one of the like hugest biggest growing industry throughout the world. So I mean, you guys would be you guys would know it better. I mean, as in wherever you go, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, or you're watching a movie in OTT or somewhere, you could be able to see ads pretty much everywhere. So that is all different touch points where digital marketing comes into play. So none of the pretty much, I would say 95% of the business here in the world is kind of dependent on the digital marketing in the current scenario. So that is where this industry is going right now. And the pandemic in the last 1 or 2 years also accelerated this to a very great extent. The businesses which were stuck in the traditional type of advertising even moved to the digital advertising more quickly after the pandemic hit. So this is one of the quickest and like huge growth in this particular sector. So that is where we are right now. It's pretty much a gold mine, the digital marketing industry. So before I go into the education part of it, basically preaching what you should do and all those things, there should be some sort of credibility. I mean, you would probably have this question by why should you listen to a single word I say? So before I go into that, let me just establish why I might be a good person who is okay to talk about these things because of the experience and everything. And yeah, I think that's about it. So this is about myself. I think I kind of grow companies using advanced digital marketing strategies, and I run an agency which helps the lots and lots of educational institutions, healthcare segments, and hospitality industry, and a lot of small and medium businesses to grow. So I make use of digital marketing strategies, probably running ads in Facebook, Google, or whatever platforms the business audience are in, and I grow them using multiple tactics and stuff. So to put it in small words, I bring in the sales to any sort of business which is functioning these days. Yeah. So this is a little bit about my experience. I'm a director, acting as a director at Extracut. This is an agency based out of Chennai, and I'm a partner and a chief technology officer in an agency based in UAE. And I'm a co-founder in other healthcare pioneers. It's a healthcare startup thing. We cater for multiple hospitals and stuff. And these are my qualifications. I've done by BTech, and I have certifications in Google Analytics, and I also partnered with Google Cloud, and I'm also a Zoho authorized partner. So, and these are few of the brands which trust me. So put it in simple words, we as an agency and myself, we pretty much handle most of the top universities and colleges here in Tamil Nadu. So that's a bit of, so these are some of my milestones basically. So to give a little bit of perspective of why I feel, I mean, I would be maybe the right person to talk about what I'm going to talk in the future slides. So to put it into perspective, as of now, we have ran huge digital marketing campaigns for SRM and multiple education institutions. We have filled in around 2,500 seats or more till date. And we have done, I mean, one of the milestones is basically this event which we have done. This is back in, I mean, when I started with digital marketing. So we were able to sell around 10,000 tickets for this event. This is the first event which came to place. There was no identity or brand visibility for this particular event. In spite of that, using the digital marketing strategies and everything, I was able to bring around 10,000 visits, 10,000 tickets which are sold for this particular event. So these are some of my key milestones. I believe these would put in some credibility on why, what I'm going to talk would be more credible to you guys. So to start with, I presume most of you guys would know what exactly digital marketing is to some extent. So to put it in simple words, digital marketing means the use of digital channels to market products or services in order to reach consumers. So if you take any businesses, like let's say an hospital, a hospital maybe, or a education institution, or probably a e-commerce site selling clothes or jewelry, or any like traditional shops we see in the roads and everything. So how do they run? So basically, any business survives with money. So where do they get the money? They get the money by selling their products or services. So in order to sell the products or services, there needs to be a couple of things. They need a product or service to sell, and they probably need the audience to sell it. So where digital marketing comes into place, digital marketing or the traditional marketing comes into place, this is a channel which bridges these two things. So it's going to take the products or the services a business has to offer to the target audience. So this is how the digital marketing or the traditional marketing bridges the gap between the product or the service and the customers. So this is simple words about what marketing is. So the digital marketing aspect of it is pretty much all of these things in the digital channels. So when I say digital channels, it might include Facebook, Google AdWords, Instagram, and lots and lots more things, as in that might be email marketing and all those things. So different ways to different digital channels to reach out to the audience about the business and services. So that's a very simple idea of what digital marketing. I presume most of you guys know what exactly it is. So this is the digital ad spending worldwide in billions, a small graph made by active campaigns from the data collected throughout the globe. And from the span of 2019 to 2004, from $325 billion, it has increased to around $441 billion in like 4 years. And it is going to reach around $526 billion in 2024. So this is how much the different brands and businesses are spending in the online space for promoting their products or services to the market. So this is how huge the industry is. Yeah. And these are the different types of jobs or like different positions. So I understand this webinar is more about the entrepreneur aspect of it. So it can be freelance, or if you guys are planning to open an agency or any type of digital marketing services you're trying to cater. So everything would be covered. But this is just an idea of what are the different types of jobs possible. Digital marketing doesn't means purely running of ads, or just running, managing the different social media handles for the business, or like making some creatives or creative calls. There are lots and lots of different roles, and based on what your passion is, maybe you are someone who's interested into content writing, maybe you are someone who's interested into designing, maybe you are someone who's interested in building really high converting websites or landing pages. There is huge space for pretty much all these different people who have interest in these things. So to give you a simple example, so when I finished my college back in 2015, so I didn't have a clear idea, as in I didn't know what exactly my strengths were. I didn't know what exactly my passion, where my passion lies, and all those things. So at that point of time, I tried multiple things, as in I did freelancing basically I did photography, I did event management to some extent. Then I made small websites, I made videos, I made graphic and some graphic design posters and stuff. So when I did all these things, I got an idea of what exactly are my strengths and where exactly my passion lies, and what should be my future career. So what I'm trying to say through this this particular slide is basically, just because digital marketing is something huge, and just because there is money doesn't mean you should directly go into it and start working on something which is there. What it means is basically the digital marketing is a very huge space where you can find the areas which you are passionate about, and there would be a role specifically for you inside that. So it's really huge. If you are someone who is really creative, if you are someone who's really good at writing, if you are someone who's really good at making strategies, if you are someone who's able to understand the audience, that is one of the most important part, understand the audience and all those things. Each of these people, or if you have the combination of these passions and all those things, there's a space for each one of us, and the space is really huge. Like we can make millions out of it. That is the potential of digital marketing industry at this point on, because pretty much all the business needs sales of their services or products, and we as a digital marketer help the businesses in achieving. So there's a enormous space for us to like do whatever we love in that particular area. So yeah. And these are some of the pros of digital marketing. Becoming a digital marketer. And the first one is basically a youthful career. Digital marketing is relatively new, and it is, like I said, it is growing every year, and it has the greatest number of job openings in the last few years when compared to any other roles. Digital marketing are a really, really huge number of openings. Yeah. And there is a huge demand, because every business needs digital marketers to attract and retain the customers. So like I said, post the pandemic, most of the traditional types of advertising pretty much came to a standstill to some extent. There weren't many offline events which were going on. People started spending less in the traditional advertising like newspapers and everything. So pretty much all the money, the budget which the businesses had for marketing went into digital marketing. So there is a huge demand for the people who are going to manage those marketing funds to bring in the revenues for the business. So there's a huge demand over there. And the third thing which I'm most excited about is the location freedom. There is no constraint. If you're going to work out your career as an entrepreneur or a freelancer in the digital marketing space, there is no need for you to sit in a particular place. Let's say you need not operate out of Chennai or wherever you are in. You can be anywhere in the world and operate to anyone wherever in the world. So like I said, put it into perspective, I'm here sitting in Chennai, and I handle some of my clients who's based out of different countries, probably UAE, probably in US, or different other places. So it doesn't matter where we are, as long as we understand who our customer is, what they are selling, and who exactly is their audience are, what do they like, and all those things. So there is absolutely no constraint on we should work from here, like most of the other business. So there will be a huge location freedom. We can work out as a digital nomad. We can live anywhere as long as there's a laptop and internet connection. Yeah, it would work. So next one is going to be the flexibility. So of course, you're going to be an entrepreneur and everything. You would have the flexibility to pick and choose your clients. You can work it out in the hours which you would love to work, as long as you're able to reach the goals you have promised to the clients and everything. And the pay grade, again, since like I said, there's a huge potential in this particular market. So you can, worst case, within a year, you'd be able to make around 50,000 to 1 lakh a month if you even start from scratch right now. So that is how huge the potential is. And yeah, so these are some of the pros of becoming a digital marketer. So all these are not just words. So I'll just go through a small story. So when I started as a freelancer back in 2015, I wouldn't call myself an expert. So I had a few ideas about how different tools work, how to make a simple website using WordPress, how to make a simple design using Photoshop, and how to make a simple video with Adobe Premiere. These are tiny knowledges. So I gained this by two things. I was able to take up projects from my clients and able to learn it on the go. When I was supposed to make a video, something like that, I took Adobe Premiere Pro and studied about it. It hardly takes around 6 hours to 8 hours to complete that particular thing. Very similar use case in pretty much all these things over here. In order for you to gain some knowledge and get started, it wouldn't take you more than 3-4 days to just start. You won't become an expert, of course, but to get started, even with live projects, it will take you 4 or 5 days in this particular digital marketing space. And I don't even think you need to take up any really costly courses and things. Every data, all the materials are available over the internet. If you just Google it, you would be able to get all those details, and you can get started right away. So coming back to the story, by 2015, I was freelancing with all these things, and I was a free operating for multiple clients in some, and it slowly grew. I didn't spend even a penny in investment, even for studying those items or to build in all those team and everything. everything. So from 2015, right now it's 2022. So now we have a really good company. We have around 20 people working with me, and we have really huge clients, like huge clients. Like we operate massive educational institutions here in Tamil Nadu with advertising spend of around more than 2-3 crores every annum. So what I mean to say by the story is, if you are in a position where either you are studying or you are just started your career in maybe any fields, and you are slightly passionate about things, even if you start right now, your learning curve won't be that huge. You would be able to like get started with all the basics and everything within a week or two. And trust me, if you put in your efforts and everything, you'd even be able to get the clients and everything within like a month or so. We can get started with that. So it's as simple as that. Just that you need to have that discipline and the passion to get started and keep going. So it's as simple as that. So coming back, so these are the different types of digital marketing. There are a few more things, but these are the very basic items. So one is basically the search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is basically where when you type in something in Google, there are a few things which comes in the top. The topmost ones probably would be the ads. The ones which is after that, the basically organic ones and everything, are the site links. So how they reach there is by doing this activity called a search engine optimization. So there'll be multiple activities linked with the on-page optimization, off-page optimization, and lots more things which people do, the SEO experts would do to bring it to that level. And second would be the pay-per-click links. So these are basically the advertising campaigns in Google and other platforms where the marketers would create these ads to pop up when people search for something like that, and we pay the channels when someone clicks on the particular ad. So every time a customer clicks on it, so basically, let's say if you type something in Google, you want to buy a car or something like that, the first thing which pops up, the ads pops up. If you click on it, the advertiser would lose some money. So that is basically pay per click, and we get conversions out of it. So social media marketing is basically done in Facebook, Instagram, and other social media thing. So you'd be able to see those sponsored ads and such. So that is what it comprises of. Next one is basically the content marketing, where this is one of the very, hot topic which is going on right now. So basically, content is the king. If we are able to create really wonderful content which resonates with the audience, nothing like it. We would be able to bring in business even organically without doing much of paid efforts and stuff. So email marketing, I presume every one of you would have known. You would have seen some sort of emails which is popping up in mailbox. And mobile marketing using the mobile apps and stuff should be covered under that. And analytics is basically, again, we would be deriving the analytics from different business intelligence tools. So let's say Google Analytics and a few more things, and we would be making strategies out of it. And last one might be affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing, to give you a simple example, let's say people are purchasing stuff from Amazon. It would be possible for advertisers to create a blog or something and link it to that product. And whenever someone goes from that particular blog to the product and purchases it, they would earn a small revenue out, a percentage out of it. So that is called as affiliate marketing. So these are the few basic types of digital marketing. So based on within this, there are multiple aspects to it. So let's say there is going to be social media marketing. So in order to run a social media marketing campaign, you probably need to have a content to be developed, and you need to have a creative to be developed. You probably need to have a landing page to be developed. So these are different things. So based on what interests you, what you feel confident after exploring all these things, after learning a little bit about things, you can play around in all these areas. So there's a huge potential in pretty much all these areas of digital marketing. So let me move forward. So I'll give an idea of how this entire marketing works. So let's leave out all the complicated aspect of it. Let's try to understand how any type of sales work. So let's take a small scenario. So let's say I broke my phone. So let's take that as a scenario. I need to buy a new phone. So I probably would think of 3-4 brands, probably Apple, Samsung, MI, and few more things. So why I am reminded of these 4 or 5 brands is because these particular brands have done a huge awareness campaign. So wherever I see it, I see an Apple logo, or probably a Samsung ad running, or probably an Oppo running in the bus, or both other things. So the first step is basically creating awareness. So in order for me to purchase a product, I would probably have heard about. If I broke my phone and someone XYZ brand comes and say to me, here is the new phone, this is the brand, I probably wouldn't buy it because I haven't heard about it. So first aspect is basically the awareness of particular thing. So this is what I put in here is basically sales funnel. In order for a conversion to happen, so let's say the conversion, we'll take it as buying a phone as a conversion event. First, I need to have an awareness about the brand, be it Apple or something like that. Second was basically consideration. So when I think about these 4 brands, then I would start mentally calculating in my mind. So what exactly is my use case? If I am someone who is looking for a really premium phone and more emphasis on the security aspect of it, I would probably look into an Apple iPhone. Because they have advertised it in such a way that when people think of an Apple iPhone, they would probably should think of the premium, the way they package it, the way they do a minimalist design and the ads and everything. It positions a particular product in such a way that it's a premium product. And I think these days they are also emphasizing more on the security aspect of it, because that is how they differentiate from the other brands in the market. So similarly, I think you guys would have seen Oppo ads too. Mostly they call it as selfie phones or something like that. So if I'm a person who's interested in taking lots and lots of photos, selfies and all those things, I would probably consider that phone. So the second stage of the sales is basically the consideration, where people will engage with the particular brands and based on the use cases and everything, and try to consider which works more for them. And third is basically purchase. So if I am someone who broke the phone and would need a phone for sure in the next day or two, so the cycle goes like that. I think of 5 brands. I engage with probably the brand which I feel would fit my use case. And 3, I go to the website or to the shop, I buy it. Or there is a way where people create the desire. You would have seen all these fancy campaigns, big billion sale, all those things, Flipkarts, everything, where they kind of create the desire. They say the offer is going to end in this particular period, or this price would go up after this. On all those things, they push you to buy it. Again, you would buy it only if you had an awareness about that particular brand and you have engaged about the brand, you understood what would be the benefits of buying particular, and finally they push you to buy it. So there's 3 different phases to buy it. So basically I cover the attract part of it, the convert part of it, and the engagement part of it, and basically sell it. So after that, basically after selling it, I would probably be running few more engagement campaigns, all those things, to retain the audience. So next time if I buy different phone or suggest a phone to my colleagues or someone, so I would be referring the product. So that is a retention campaign. And basically advocacy would come into the place. So if I buy the product again, it comes to the retention part, and if I'm going to advocate that particular product to other. So these are basically the different stages of the sales. So why exactly I'm explaining this is the basis of marketing. Whether if you're doing a traditional marketing, digital marketing, or anything, this is the basis. So no matter who is running the campaign and everything, it would be a activity which in any of these stages. So let's say a big brand, let's say Apple or someone would like to create awareness, they would be probably try to understand the market who is sitting in that particular position. You would think of who exactly is the audience of Apple, which countries they should be in. And first question would be that. Second question would probably be, how exactly do I reach out to them? Should I use Google display ads, basically whichever website they go, we would see a banner ad over there. Or probably I would the audience which I predict for this particular brand would be more active in YouTube or in Instagram. If they're like in the 18 or in that particular age group, if they're more active on Instagram, they would try to understand where exactly the audience are present and push their ads in those particular spaces. So the marketer's role would all fit in these different stages. So all the channels, all the different strategies, and all the works involved, including copywriting, with image designing, or creative design, and all those things, would everything would fit into that. So this is the basis of marketing. There is nothing really complicated about it if you understand the basics of it. After that, you need to keep improving your expertise in each of these areas if you want to become someone who needs to get really good at the conversion part of it. So you'll be probably looking at the pay-per-click and all those things. So basically these things. If you are someone who is looking at creating the engagement, the awareness part of it, you probably look at social media management and all those things. So based on that, in the funnel, we want to work on, there are different channels to work with, and there are different activities to be done in the digital marketing space. So this is the basis of it. So if you want to learn more about it, you can go deep in these things and we can go ahead with it. So since this particular webinar is to give a basic idea of what a digital marketing career is and what it comprises of and what is the potential over that and how can you get started over that, I'm not going very deep into it, but this is the skeleton structure of how the marketing works. Yeah. So how do you get started? So let's say you are you understand the potential of this digital marketing industry. You're fascinated by it, and probably you have some of your passions lying in either content creation or creative design, or you are someone you want to play around with Facebook ads or Google ads or something like that. So you are interested in starting digital marketing as a career. Let's say if you want to take it as a freelancer, or if you want to take it as a full-fledged business after you complete your college, or if you want to start a side gig while you are working. Let's say if you want to start out as a freelancer, you could probably help the few people in your circle with the efforts and all those things. So this is how I got started. So I feel it would be a good way for you guys to get started as well. So it's pretty simple, nothing way complicated. You need not crack any complex examinations to get started over there. It's way simple, and more importantly, there is absolutely no I would say there's absolutely no monetary investments apart from your time and the dedication to get this cracking and get started. Yeah. So first thing is you need a knowledge. So idea of how digital marketing works, a little more detailed understanding of the funnel, which I've explained now, and how everything fits in together. So you probably need to explore how to analyze the target audience and how to understand which channels they are in, how to identify the persona, the pain points, how do I create based on that. So those are basic knowledges you need to understand, and this is available throughout the internet. You'd be able to learn it very easily. I think even I think Google has a small course which talks about the fundamentals of the digital marketing, which should be a really good read. It would take you not more than a week to complete that particular course. It's very, very simple, and you need not spend any money in learning that. So it's available for free in the internet, so nothing to be done for it. As long as you put in your time and effort, you'll be able to do that. So the first step to get started is to gain knowledge about how these things work. So it would hardly take you a week to do so. So these are the few learning resources I would recommend. AdWords, a little bit about SEO and things. So have a general idea of the complete different topics present in the digital marketing. Basically, these items which I mentioned here, just learn about it if you're really interested in starting it over there. So next step is basically to start. So basically, if you keep reading and not get started, we are not going to go anywhere. So let's keep a deadline for 1 week. Let's start with all these topics and gain some decent knowledge about how things works and all those things, and you can start experimenting. So probably experimenting in the Facebook AdWords, you can easily, it's all available for free. The Google AdWords, you can sign up on a new account, you can test out things, how to create a campaign, how to set up a campaign, how to make a creative, and all those things is easily available. So the next important step is and while doing this, you'll be able to adapt, you'll be able to understand which works, which doesn't works, and keep improving yourself accordingly. So that these are the first 3 steps to get started. So next, coming to the key important thing, how do you prepare yourself? So let's say you've decided, so I want to give this a try or something like that. So first step I would say is to set a earning goal. Let's say you want to earn 80,000 per month. So how would you go about it? So I would recommend this even before you go deep into the mastering of different tools or different topics inside digital marketing. So just fix a target. So I need to earn 80,000 per month. I need to make 1 lakh per month. So that would be your first step. So if you put that number, when you put that number in the mind, your next logical question is going to be, how do I make that 80,000? So you can either get it from one client if you are really, really good, and if you are master of any particular tool in digital marketing, you can go to that high paying client and say, I got this covered. I'm going to bring in sales for you, and I would probably giving you like 10x of what you're investing in me. If you're paying 80,000, I'd be probably giving you 8 lakhs of or even more than that of revenue to you with my activities. If you are really mastered that, if you are capable of doing that, you can go pitch it to the client and make that 80,000. The second is probably getting 2 clients. I think it's simpler than the other one. If you're not completely confident, you're able to go to that high paying client. And if you don't believe that high paying client would come to you because you're just starting and you might need to not have the portfolio and stuff. You feel 2 clients, that would be a more easier step. You can probably go pitch it to the client saying, I would be able to manage your social media or probably create contents for you, something like that. And you can just pay me 40,000 per month. I feel that would be more easier when compared to the first scenario. And the last one is basically if you're just starting, but you've done your research, you are fairly confident that you'll be able to handle it after going through those courses which is available in the market. Trust me, which is kind of easy. It would hardly take you 1-2 weeks to completely understand that. This is the most easiest scenario. In order for you to, I mean, even though 80,000 per month might look like a bigger figure if you're just starting in your career or just finishing your college, if you just put it in the terms of 4 or 6 clients, it becomes very easy. As in a business which makes around, let's say 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs per month, if you can just tell them like with the 20,000 you spend on this, you'd be able to make so much, and you can prove them with the result, they won't mind paying you 20,000. It's very simple. So it's just a perspective of how we are going to reach that goal. If you just break it down, things become way simpler. Even though 80,000 becomes looks like a big number when you see it at the first line, it becomes way more simpler when you try it out with 4 or 6 or 8 clients. So the objective is to start from the bottom, maybe get 10 or 20,000 from each client, and further like 80,000 or 1 lakh per month from one single client. So that is, I won't call it as easy nor very difficult either. I think it is very much doable in a span of 1 to 2 years. I mean, the objective of reaching the 80,000 rupees per client, earning it from one client, is fairly, it's not very complicated if you put your energy into it. Yeah. So this is the first step. Set a goal, how much I'm going to earn, and this is how I break it. I'm going to break it down to reach that particular number. The second one is basically you pick up a niche. So this is again fairly simple. So you find, I mean, you'll be able to see all these businesses around. There are lots and lots of home bakers coming around. There are lots of small jewelry things, I mean, startups which is coming around. These are started by different other entrepreneurs, just if you're trying to be one. And it's very simple, as in you probably need to take up the niche which there is a huge potential. As like how I'm saying digital marketing has a huge potential. I'm just showing you all the statistics on why that is true and all those things. If you do a little bit of research on different things, I mean, you would have probably even seen it in Instagram, all those probably the pages which your friends create and everything. If you see a pattern over there and learn a little bit about this, how that market is working and how many people are purchasing, how many people are liking that particular post and everything, how many people are asking for the price thing, you'd be able to figure something out. So if you read a little bit more into it, create an industry analysis, as in understand the market, competitors and all those things, you'd be able to come up with different strategies. As in you'd be able to say, okay, this is the market. Let's take food products, for example. So let's say a home baker is selling lots of, I mean, cupcakes, for instance. So if you learn a little bit about it, let's say this person is selling it in Adyar, you'd probably take up other people, the competitors who are selling it, you'd be able to do competitive analysis and you'd be able to come up with a strategy. So these products are selling better, and this particular competitor is promoting their products in these channels, which is kind of working out to be really well. So if you just put together, it becomes very simple. You make a presentation and you probably go pitch it to this person. So you'd probably say, hey, I'm digital marketing freelancer. I mean, I own this agency, something like that, and this is what this level, and these are my skill set. I know this, and I have a certification in this, and all those things, which is fairly simple. Trust me, and all the things, it is very simple. So these are this is the first 4 step on how to prepare yourself to reach the particular goal to start with. So next step is basically to compile the digital marketing arena package. That particular client, you could curate the different sort of services you would be able to do. Probably a website development improvement, probably Google AdWords, probably content marketing, SEO, design, and all those things. You can put together as a compilation of different services. 20,000 would be able to do all these things. And so if you could just pitch it to that particular client, trust me, it's not going to be a walk in the park. You can't just, but if you trust me, if you try reaching out to 5-10 people in Instagram, at least like 3 or 4 people will respond back to you, and there's a good probability one would definitely convert. And if you are not completely confident, if you're going to experiment it, probably you can even give them a free trial. Let's say for 1 or 2 weeks, I'd be able to run this for you free. You just see the potential, how it works, because trust me, you're not going to spend anything on it. You're going to learn from it again. And once you gain that experience by working even in the client's account, if you show them the value, they would become your paid customer. So it's fairly straightforward, and it's pretty simple as well. So in this way, even if you sign up with 4 different clients in the span of next 3 months, you would be able to reach the goal of 80,000, even though that looks like a huge number. And trust me, if you are going to work in a corporate nerd, for you to get into the 80,000, it would take you like 4, 5, 6 years, probably, depending upon completed the MBA or your UG and whatever it is. But trust me, it's fairly simple in this particular life, provided you have that dedication and the eagerness to study and you're passionate about these things. It's very simple. And lots of my friends I've seen it, and I myself have started from that particular position. When I was back in 2015, after I completed my college, I got placed in one of the top IT companies here in India. But by that time, I was able to evaluate how the package, what they were supposed to, what they were to give me, and what I was making out of the freelancing plan was equal back in 2015. So I saw the potential of this. If I just push it for other 1 or 2 hours, I'd be making like 5-10x of what the particular IT firm would be paying me in the next 5 years. So even though it looks like a big number, trust me, it's very simple, and you'll be able to reach another 2-3 years if you want to reach that big target. It's fairly simple. You could do it. And the working has, initially it would be tough, as in, since you would be experimenting a lot of things, that would be you need to satisfy the clients, you need to honor the promises and everything. But as the days goes, you'd be able to understand it better. And more importantly, like, you're working for what you love. So that is more important. So even if you spend 2 hours per day for each of these 4 clients, it would come to the 8 hours, which would be your usual thing, and you would have that pleasure of working in what you love in the way you want, and pick and choose the clients you want. Everything. Yeah. So this is how you land your first client, basically. Once you have a little bit of clarity on how the digital marketing space works, after going to the fundamentals, reading a little bit about it, you probably need to build a portfolio website or a LinkedIn page, maybe, which talks about the different services you offer and all those things. You need not be an expert at those things, but you can just start somewhere, because everyone starts with where no one starts like being an expert, and you would be probably charged for the expertise you have. It need not be a fancy number which you would be pitching it to a big client. You can start small with the experience you have and pitch it to those very small, tiny businesses. First. So you might ask, it sounds really easy for you to say that if you could just go do a cold call or probably reach out to the businesses in Instagram, people would just accept and start it. It sounds like a walk in the park, but trust me, it's not that difficult. The second point which I put in, so how it worked for me basically is, once I figured out these are the things which I want to do, the first thing I reached out to my circle. So once my friends and my family came to know about I'm into developing websites, I'm into running digital marketing campaigns and all those things, they started referring tiny businesses. So I think my first customer was someone who was in logistics who want to make a website, and second, there was a different other client who want to make a creative design. So these were the tiny clients who are from my inner circle, from someone who was my friend referred, or my family referred, all those things. It kind of grew from there. So it's fairly simple. So the first client, you'll be charging, let's say 5-10,000. Even if you're doing it for free for a period of 1 or 2 months, you get the experience out of it. You have a portfolio, you can start putting in the website. After that, things are very simple. If you project yourself in the right way, saying that these are the things I've handled, these are the results I've brought into this particular businesses, it becomes way too simple to bring in more clients and grow it to the next level. So these are some of the ways to land your first client. So probably build your website to start with, basically a page. It's again nothing complicated. You need not hire a super fancy website designer if you don't have an idea on that. You can probably go to big which is available for you. You can create a WordPress website for free. There are a lot of templates, and it's way more easier than it was around 5. Pretty much all the things are automated. So it would again take you not more than 2-3 hours to make a decent website these days. Yeah. So again, spread the word among your friends and family. That is also fairly simple. You just need to make us creative. You can use a canvas, something like that, put saying, these are the things I know, and I'm offering it to my clients. You can just try it out. You can probably put a free trial or something like that. You can send it to your friends and family. And trust me, if you send it to like 10-20 people, at least 2 would turn up. That is more than sufficient for the amount of investment, which is zero monetary investment. You're going to put in like 5, maybe a time, that thing, right, for you to grow it as a business. So yeah, so this is how you could land first client. So going forward, how you could move to the next level is basically this. You need to learn it. You even get to experiment in the live project with your clients. So when you are in the learning phase and you have few clients to work with, you can practice out the different things you learn through these different materials online. And from those results, you need to keep evolving yourself. And most importantly, you should deliver the very best to your clients, because that is the key part. If you're going to grow as an entrepreneur, you need to keep up your promises. So you need to be, and more importantly, even if you don't deliver the actual things, if you're not able to in some sort of way, it is very important you communicate it better. You need to be responsive and helpful to the clients no matter when they call and everything. So that is very important aspects more than the actual product. You need to be very good. You need to be addressing all this and everything. Even if you're not able to deliver, you need to convey it to them. Yeah, that's important. And everything which works best for you. So so while you keep exploring all these things, when you start with the digital marketing, let's say you're trying with content writing, let's say you design and everything, when you try out all these things, you get a fairly good idea of how the entire ecosystem works from top to bottom, including building of website and all the things. Once you have the practical knowledge on how to do this, that's why it's fairly simple. Like I said, it would take not more than 1 month to learn the entire thing, even including the website design and everything. If you try out all these things, you would have a complete knowledge of how thing works with each other. And trust me, it would help you in the longer run. Like I said, when I started my freelancing career, I even did photography as a freelancer. I did video editing and all those things. And now when I'm acting as a director of my digital marketing agency, I have lots of people working with me. So let's say the designers, they do an amazing job in creating like really cool graphics and everything, which is seen by like millions and millions of people in India around the globe. Since I worked on those items when I was freelancing like 5-6 years back, I understand the intricacies of it. I understand what's good, what's not good, and how to make it better. So the earlier you learn about it, it will be easier for you to manage it or even expand. Let's say you're putting in and creating your own business, digital marketing agency, or if you're going to outsource it to a freelancer, few aspects of it, once you grow, you know the internal workings of it. So it becomes very easier after that. So the fourth one, which I put in for how to grow and way forward, is basically pivot. So pivot is basically, it doesn't mean, let's say you are taking up social media management as your core area in digital marketing, and you're going with it. So probably after 1.5 years or 2 years, you figure out this is very hectic. I'm just giving you an example. It's a very hectic job, and you don't feel pleasure in doing that, and the money you make, even if it's higher, don't feel very good about it. You always get a chance to pivot to a different direction. Probably if you're someone who's interested in content writing, you can just move from there. It's all interlinked, and you should be able to pivot if you have a knowledge about the domain and everything. And it's important you keep pivoting on whichever works for you, whichever fulfills you finance, also in the passion angle as well. Yeah. And while you're doing that, if you could just get things certified, and probably there are multiple certifications, Facebook Blueprint and all those things, Google Analytics, all things. If you could just get certified, it will improve your credibility as well. So while you're talking to your clients and everything, you should just show the case studies on these are the things I've worked on, these are certifications, nothing like it. There won't be any sort of, I mean, winning clients would be very easy if you have all these things. It takes times to get there, but until you get there, you can probably start with the small clients from your friend circle and all those things. And when you move to the bigger clients, you should be equipped with all these things. So there won't be any case of like, it'll be very simple after that. You would have the results, you would have the certification. There is no other questions the bigger businesses would ask. So as simple as that. Yeah. So I think after you run this for a year or two, you'd have a clarity on whether you want to run it as further as a freelancer, which is again a rewarding career, or you want to make it as a business. You want to build an agency, or if you want to build a marketing team or something like that, you can decide how you want to. So this would be the growth part if you're going to take a digital marketing as a career as an entrepreneur. So I think we have come to the pretty much the end of the conversation. It's almost 7 now. Yeah. So these are some of the possible risks. I mean, it's like I said, it's not a completely walk in the park. Even though, like I said, the learning curve is pretty simple. It wouldn't take you more than few weeks to months to understand the complete intricacies of it. It won't take you more than a month to land your first client if you understand what you're doing. And you can easily grow that. I wouldn't say it is completely easy. There are few things you need to consider and also see if it fits for you. First, you should understand that customer is always right. It won't be probably like I mean, if you are someone who's coming from, you're currently studying all those things, you, let's say it won't be like speaking to your colleagues or parents. I mean, if you don't like it, you stop talking or something like that. Customer is always right. So you need to tune everything around them. So if you feel that even though it might be wrong in some places, you can't go, I mean, in that particular manner. So you need to see how to, I mean, modify your offerings or products, or the way you communicate to ensure that client gets decide amicably in such a way that client doesn't harm it. So you shouldn't never burn the bridge between the clients. So that is one of the key aspects you should look for. Second is basically the financial aspects of it. So like I said, there won't be much of investments involved in it. Once you gain those skills, you can run the ads, everything with the client. Maybe client would be spending for the ad spends and everything, so there won't be any much of it. But you should be proper in managing and all those things. So that would be a key thing. You shouldn't probably put in your money and burn your fingers later on. So you should be probably careful in those aspects. So, and third important, you should know, you should be ready to work day and night in the initial stages. So it won't be like if you're going to, I mean, make it as an entrepreneur or start up your journey this way. It won't be like a proper corporate job where you probably start at 9 or 10 p.m. and end at 6 or 7 p.m. Initially, it would be really tough probably until you go to a level where you can automate most of the workings of the marketing things, and you have different people to manage different aspects of it. Until then, people, I mean, anyone would suffer to get to that position. But trust me, once you reach that particular level, I mean, that again depends on the competency and how soon you can reach it. But once you reach it, things would be really good. You would be able to move things around based on your time schedule, probably automate things, and there are a lot more things to be done. But to get there, you should be, I mean, you should be a person who's ready to work day and night in the initial stages to get there. And most important risk factor is once you make it as a really good digital marketer, it doesn't end there. You probably need to keep the advancement in the advertising, which is way quicker than any other industries, because things keeps changing, the customer trends keeps changing, and the advertising world keeps changing to support that. So you should also be ready to do that. So these are some of the possible risk factors. So I think we have almost come to the end of the presentation. So to summarize, what I've put forth is basically what exactly digital marketing is and how huge is that space and how it is growing in a really rapid phase, and what are the few things you need to get started to kickstart your journey into this particular space, and how do you land your first client, and how do you grow and move to the next level as a digital marketer. So this is a basic outline of how this would work. And probably, I mean, if you guys are more interested and want to go deep into everything, we can probably schedule a different session where we can go into each of these divisions in a more deeper manner. More importantly, and let's say how to land a client in a more detailed manner, that could be done if required. So yeah, we almost come to the end of the presentation. If you guys have any questions, please shoot it in Zoom. I'd love to answer them. Yeah. So I think we already have a few questions. Wonderful. But is digital marketing not more risky than? No. So someone has asked, is digital marketing not more riskier than physical marketing? Absolutely not. So I'll just give you a perspective. Let's say you are a huge business. You want to go in the physical advertising. Let's say you want to put a front page newspaper ad, which costs like 10 or 15 lakh rupees. And everything's going to happen. I mean, how many people are going to see that? You don't have a complete handle of that. You don't know how many people are going to look at it and give you a call, how many conversions you are going to get, all those things. So, but that 10 or 12 lakhs you put into that front page advertisement is constant. It is not going to change. Once done, you are need to sit and wait whether you are going to get the returns out of it or not, which is not the case in digital marketing. For every rupee you spend, either in Facebook, Google ads, or whatever it is, you would be able to see how many people have seen your ad, how many people have interacted with your ad, how many people have clicked your ad, how many people have got converted. So based on those things, you would be changing your advertising budget and everything. So let's say if you're spending 10 rupees and you're getting 15, 20 rupees out of it, you keep scaling and you keep optimizing it to bring that ad spend to a lower level and increasing the ROI. So digital marketing is, I mean, like if physical advertising is probably 5 or 10 times riskier than digital marketing. There is, I wouldn't say there is, I mean, there's pretty much like very, very, very risk in digital marketing compared to the physical thing. Please feel free to shoot any other queries if you guys have.
Yes, sir. We have one more question. What are the educational qualifications required?
So that's the beauty of it. What are the educational qualifications? You don't need any sort of educational qualification to be a digital marketer. If you have the passion and if you understand English, that is more than enough. You just need to try to pick and choose the topics out of it. And if you just type in how to become a digital marketer, what should I learn, you would have 10, 15 things populated in Google search. And if you can just open the 4, 5 top links and see which is the common ones there, that is your syllabus, and you can get started on that. Most simplest thing which you can do is you can probably go to there's this course provided by Google which starts with fundamentals of digital marketing. That would be a good way to start it. So to come back, if you're going to make it as a freelancer or an entrepreneur in digital marketing, you obviously need no educational qualification. Yeah.
Is there any other questions? Participants, any other questions?
Feel free to ask anything, guys, as in if you guys want to know more about how to get with your first client, or probably where could I learn these things, and anything. If you have any other queries, I would love to address it.
You said get certificate meanwhile, right? Will we get it without any qualification?
No, like I said, certification enhances your credibility. Let's say if you are going to a bigger client in the near future, like 1 or 2 years later, certificate would enhance your credibility. The bigger organization would see this certificate and say, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about and he's certified with that. But that is not a 100% requirement. Honestly, when I started with probably the first couple of years, I didn't have any sort of certification. I just showed the results, as in these are the clients I've worked with, and this is how much the business which I brought them so far for the spend of this much. That is more than enough. If you're able to show that, no one is going to ask you. I think that holds good for pretty much all of the companies right now, right? The certification or any degrees exist. To some extent, it is not that important as what you know actually. If you're able to communicate it to your clients or wherever it is, becomes simple. We as a agency or a company, we don't look at degrees or different set of certificates. Of course, if you have it, yes, it would be an added advantage. But as long as if the person sitting across us, either in an interview or something, if they are able to convince us that they know what they are doing, that is more than good. And for digital marketing, you absolutely need anything. Of course, having those would improve your chances, but it is not a mandatory requirement to get started.
As a last question, is there any certification courses available?
Yeah, there are multiple certification courses available for digital marketing. And Google provides a lot of certification courses, even Google Analytics, AdWords, and all those things. It's all available for free. And LinkedIn has its own certification course. I think it's a paid course. And Facebook has a certification course. There's a free one and also a paid one on Facebook. And apart from that, these are the key players who actually give the certificates. And you can also look for something in Coursera and other things. But I would prefer going with the first three things which I mentioned, because that I feel that holds more value compared to the other items.
Okay, sir. Shall we end up the session?
Let me get your email ID contact. Sure, you guys can. You can take a note of it if required. So feel free to reach me if you guys have any questions or internships, or probably if you guys need. If you want a career in digital marketing, we are always looking for more people to join us. And even if you want me to point to the right direction on what you should read or something like that, feel free to drop me a mail, and I'd allow to help you guys with that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful session. I believe that the session of the webinar was informative for all. On behalf of IFERP, I heartily thank all the professors, academicians, and delegates who have joined us today. I would like to extend my gratitude to our esteemed Mr. Premanand Krishnakumar for delivering the keynote address. Thank you, sir. And now we can wind up the session. Thank you all for joining with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye.
Bye, sir.